Prevention is better than cure. So, in view of the upcoming COVID variants and the havoc it is creating, it's all our responsibility to save the human race from this deadly COVID virus and protect ourselves. So, everyone has to contribute and we all have to fight it together. So, in context of it, there was a recent interview conducted by the film director Ram Gopal Verma with a freelancer named Mr. Malik Parchuri, who was earlier working in pharma industries. So, based on the outcome of the interview, Mr. Malik had given a set of 57 questions to have a transparency and accountability for the sake of the people. We are not endorsing these views by any means. We are just making this in a video format. So those who are interested can respond to this. The questionnaire document shared by Malik Parchuri is given in the description of this video. Let's go to the questions. Question number 1. Can you tell in detail how masks, sanitization, and social distancing exactly works? Question number 2. Is there any medicine in allopathy as a preemptive? Question number 3. What is the exact prescription for home isolated patients? Question number 4. Are you following DGHS, IMA, ICMR, AIIMS and WHO guidelines, or are you following your own? If so, please detail and explain your guidelines. Antibiotics are prescribed to treat only bacterial infections. Then why are you prescribing them for COVID, which is a virus? Question number 6. Why are you prescribing antibiotics for home isolated patients? Question number 7. Glycine is extremely sensitive to antibiotics which target folate and blood glycine levels. They drop severely within a minute of an antibiotic injection. Some antibiotics can defeat more than 90% of glycine within a few minutes of being administered. Do you disagree with this? If glycine is inhibitory neurotransmitter in central nervous system, especially in the spinal cord, brainstem, retina and olfactory, then if there is glycine deficiency, how would this neurotransmitters function? Have you noticed thrombocytopenia, low platelet count in COVID patients? Can you tell us what is the reason for this? Do you think there is any effect of antibiotics on platelets? Question number 10. What have you studied about the drug-induced thrombocytopenia, low platelet count? Question number 11. Is the COVID virus increasing platelet consumption or not? Question number 2. What are you prescribing to increase platelet production to control internal bleeding due to low platelet count? Are blood thinners further depleting the platelets or not? That is question number 13. Question number 14. Please tell us about the relation between RT-PCR, CT value, viral load and disease severity. Question number 15. Why are you not prescribing any replication inhibitors to control the virus load in home isolation in the first week of infection? Question number 16. Why are hydrochloroquine and azithromycin are being continued to be prescribed in India even after the New York trials and WHO clearly concluded that HCQ is associated with QT interval prolongation? Question number 17. Why are you prescribing emergency approval drug to a home isolation patient? Question number 17. Why are you prescribing emergency approval drug to a home isolation patient? 18. Why is favipiravir still being continued? Why do you feel its emergency approval still continues? Question number 19. Despite the former Japan Prime Minister's hype in May 2020, why did Japan regulatory still not approve favipiravir? Why is favipiravir approved in India and why is this emergency drug approved still being sold in medical shops? That is question number 20. Question number 21. Why did L&J Hospital in Delhi stopped prescribing favipiravir? Question number 22. Why are you still prescribing favipiravir even after ICMR and DGHS removed it from protocol? 23. While giving plasma therapy, are you matching patient and donor blood group only or patient and donor variant also? Please give reasons. Question number 24. Can you explain how without matching the variant, how is the plasma therapy going to help the patient? Question number 25. Is cocktail antibody therapy effective against Delta plus variant? Question number 26. What is the protocol you follow to identify and match the variant? Question number 27. Is remdesivir helpful after viremia phase, first week of infection? Question number 28. Are you monitoring AST/ALT after administering remdesivir on a daily basis? Question number 29. What is the upper limit to discontinue the remdesivir if there is an abnormal rise in AST and ALT? Question number 30. What is the role of tocilizumab in COVID? TOCILIZUMAB in COVID. Question number 31. What is the minimum value of IL-6 to start tocilizumab in COVID? Question number 32. What is the role of glucocorticoids, steroids in COVID treatment? Question number 33. What are the markers to be considered while starting steroid therapy, and what are the minimum values to start steroid treatment? Question number 33. What are the markers to be considered while starting steroid therapy, and what are the minimum values to start steroid treatment? Question number 34. Are you not monitoring neutrophils to lymphocytes ratio (NLR) at the time of steroid treatment? Question number 35. Do you agree or not that high neutrophils count results in NET netosis? 36. How will you control spike in neutrophils after giving steroids? Question number 37. Since lymphocytes are the main defense in COVID battle, if steroids are reducing the lymphocytes, then how will patients immunodefend against the virus? Question number 37. Since lymphocytes are the main defense in COVID battle, if steroids are reducing the lymphocytes, then how will the patients immunodefend against the virus? Question number 38. Does glucocorticoid steroid affect B cell antibody production or not? Question number 39. If glucocorticoid steroid spikes glucose level, then why is glucocorticoid being prescribed to a diabetic patient? Is there any alternative? Question number 40. Isn't steroid treatment the root cause of different fungal infections? Question number 41. What is the dosage of steroid to be administered for a particular range of IL-6? Question number 42. Why are allopathic doctors reluctant in integrating allopathic and herbal medicine? Question number 42. Why are so many allopathic doctors reluctant to Question number 42. Why are allopathic doctors reluctant in integrating allopathic and herbal medicine or any alternate medicine? 43. Why are so many allopathic doctors reluctant to replace ambroxol with bromexin syrup? Question number 44. Why are doctors reluctant to replace low-dose steroid with Gotnil? Question number 45. Are you aware of the press release on February 4, 2021 by ivermectin manufacturer Merck? These are 45 preliminary questions, and the additional questions related to third wave or Delta plus threat. Do you anticipate or not that third wave may hit India? Which variant would trigger, and what will be the dominant variant during the third wave? That is question number 47. Question number 48 is, there is an anticipation that third wave may affect kids on a large scale. What is your opinion on this? Question number 48. There is an anticipation that third wave may affect kids on a large scale. What is your opinion on this? Along with adults, the third wave is projected to affect on the kids also, as per the news coming in. So what's your opinion on this? Question number 49. What are the major factors that will make kids more vulnerable in third wave? Can you tell us about your supporting studies regarding this? Question number 50. Do you think it is their ignorance that so many different countries are panicking about Delta plus variant? Question number 50. Do you think it is their ignorance that so many different countries are panicking about Delta plus variant? Question number 51. Can you tell us the mutations in Delta plus variant and what the clinical significance of these mutations are? Question number 51. Can you please tell us the mutations in Delta plus variant and what the clinical significance of those mutations are? Question number 52. Have you studied any autopsy report of a Delta variant patient? What are your findings? Question number 52. Have you studied any autopsy report of a Delta variant patient? What are your findings? Question number 53. P681R mutation in Delta plus variant increased syncytia and lympho elimination in Japanese study. How will you address this issue? Question number 53. P681R mutation in Delta plus variant increased syncytia and lympho elimination in Japanese study. How will you address this issue? Question number 54. Is Delta plus variant reporting or not the low RT-PCR CT value, high viral load? Question number 55. What is your treatment protocol for Delta plus variant? Question number 56. What replication inhibitors are recommended to manage viral load in kids and adults? Question number 57. Are steroids recommended for Delta plus variant, which consists of P681R mutation causing lympho elimination? Okay, these 57 are the questions. The question circulated by the questioner, Mr. Parchuri Malik. The document is given in the link. Those who are interested to answer this can prepare answers and send it back to them. So we are just making this in a video format and posting the questions. So we are not endorsing this in any manner, and it is entirely about Mr. Malik and the person interviewed, Mr. Malik, that is RGV. It's their